Hollow Knight is a title many of you have probably heard about. A widely beloved game across the entire gaming community, praised for its difficulty, art style, music, among everything else it has to offer. It was always one of those names I kept hearing thrown around online, but especially from my close friend, Dave. Yes, we'll call him Dave. Dave would constantly tell me to give Hollow Knight a try, and I told him time after time I would get around to it. I think we all know how that promise goes. I kept putting it off because I didn't think I'd enjoy it. The bosses looked intimidating, the gameplay didn't seem like something I'd have fun with, and the main thing that scared me off, everyone kept saying how massive and confusing the map was, giving me advice like not to give up when I got lost. And let's just say I wasn't the most motivated to dive into that. It didn't help that I was completely new to the Metroidvania genre. Heck, I didn't even know what a Metroidvania was until I started playing. Eventually, I figured, why not? And not only did I buy it, I actually played it within a reasonable time frame. Holy shit! And now, nearly 117 hours deep, mousepad purchased, stickers acquired, it's safe to say I liked it. Really liked it. So today, I'm here to add even more praise to this modern icon and answer one simple question. Is Hollow Knight a good first Metroidvania? As I said in the intro, Hollow Knight was my first time even hearing the term Metroidvania. For anyone else who was in the dark like I was, it's a mashup of Metroid and Castlevania, specifically Super Metroid and Symphony of the Night. These were the games that really kicked off the idea of giant interconnected maps where progress isn't always a straight line. Back then, most games were purely linear. You go from level 1 to level 2 and eventually the credits. But Metroidvania said, nah, figure it out on your own, twin. They gave you freedom, discovery, and moments of, wait, did I go there now? Hollow Knight takes that formula and perfects it. And that's the first reason I think it's newcomer friendly. It gives you freedom, but not too much freedom at once that it overwhelms you and makes you give up. The first hour or so of any game can make or break it. If the mechanics aren't taught well enough to make dying fun and overcoming challenges rewarding, you're probably not going to stick around. Lucky for us, Hollow Knight nails this right from the start. Nail. See what I did there? I'll see myself out. You drop into a mysterious cave, no giant text boxes, no hand holding, and immediately start swinging your nail through walls and bugs. It's simple, satisfying, and instantly communicates this is how you interact with the You learn by doing, not by reading walls of text, as tutorials should be. You're a small, mysterious figure with a nail for a weapon. You swing it to cut down enemies, break through walls, and chip away at obstacles, because, let's be honest, it's just fun to destroy everything in sight. No giant tutorial pop-ups, no overlong cutscenes, just you, the world, and the sense that something much bigger is waiting ahead. Sure, the game gives you a few nudges like showing you how focusing soul refills your mask, but most of it's implied. Take this long pit of nails for example. Team Cherry doesn't stop the game and say, oh dear, this sure is one long path. Huh, don't worry, player. You can cross it by swinging your nail down while moving horizontally. Nope. Instead, the game quietly encourages you to experiment until you figure out pogo jumping all for yourself. I know. Actually thinking, what a concept. But trust me, you've got this. I believe in you. This is one of the things that makes Hollow Knight so approachable for newcomers. You don't need prior knowledge of the genre or insane reflexes. You just need curiosity. By leaving discovery in your hands, the game makes each new mechanic feel earned, and mastering them later is incredibly satisfying. Another early lesson comes when you eventually make it across the nail pit and find your first charm, Fury of the Fallen. In a single moment, the game teaches you 3 things. 1, what charms are and how they help. 2, how to equip them. And 3, that secret areas and hidden loot are worth seeking out. We're barely minutes in, yet you've already learned so much without a wall of text or a frozen screen telling you exactly what button to press. Everything is done at your pace, and that slow build of confidence is exactly what a newcomer needs. With the starting area looted and explored, you smash through a heavy door and, naturally, jump down another ledge, because who wouldn't? This time, you land in Dirtmouth, a quiet little town where you could finally save your game at a cozy bench. After a quick prayer that you'll make it back here in one piece, you head into the real world of Hollow Knight, Hollow Nest. This is where I would say the tutorial ends, but the learning is far from over. Early on, you might feel a bit lost, which is completely understandable because what the fuck is this? That is, until you cross paths with Cornifer, your new best friend. You're gonna be seeing him a lot. He sells maps in exchange for Geo, and trust me, they're lifesavers. Without them, it's easy to feel unmotivated just from wandering aimlessly. And as a plus, when you follow Cornifer's hint about his shop above ground, you'll discover the most beginner beginner-friendly charm in the entire game. The Wayward Compass, baby! Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. If it weren't for that simple, cheap charm, I might have quit because I got lost a lot. Which is funny because I confidently told my friends time after time, I don't see how anybody could get lost. This map isn't even that big. Spoiler, it was that big. But now that you have your map and compass, things feel much safer. You know where you are and where you're headed most of the time. There will still be moments where you're running around like a headless chicken, but those two tools keep it manageable. During these early explorations, you also learn a key Metroidvania rule. Some areas require new abilities or spell before you can pass. Maybe you find a grassy hallway blocked by a big beetle that hides in an invincible shield, or a dark cavern you just can't see into. The game doesn't give you the solution outright, but it's somewhere out there, probably in the form of a new spell or a light source, but what do I know? By gating certain areas with hazards, the game trains you to remember where you've been. It'll keep you constantly thinking, oh yeah, I saw that roly-poly guy, bet I can deal with him now. Or maybe, hey, that one grub needed a dash to reach, better go back. Forgetting to revisit places can leave you stuck, like the time I forgot to explore all of Crystal Peak for the Crystal Heart and lost nearly 3 hours of gameplay. But that's on you for having a shitty memory, not the game. However, in the early zones, this isn't much of an issue though, because it keeps your options limited, so you're more likely to explore the area thoroughly and not likely to get lost. That habit pays off later when the world really opens up. On my first run, I managed to defeat every boss, max out my nail, rescue every grub, get all masked and soul orbs, and collect most of the charms, all without a walkthrough, simply by exploring carefully before moving on. This is something that may appear to be tedious at times due to the large scale of the map, and it's an endeavor that could very well take you over 20 hours, but with how much there is to unveil, the time goes by very fast and you'll want to come back to continue playing. Finding small secrets, hidden geo, or a new charm all on your own gives you a huge sense of accomplishment that makes you enjoy hitting every wall, thinking it's a secret entrance, even though most of the time it isn't. Of course, on your quest to smack every wall like it owes you money, you're going to die. Quite a bit, actually. But instead of wiping your progress entirely, the game drops a shade of yourself holding your geo, giving you a chance to reclaim it. Sometimes it's a tense little skill check, or you just lose it all in a dumb mistake. Trust me, I've been there. It's not fun. However, if failing that skill check is making you fearful, you can use a rancid egg at any point to retrieve it safely, coward. For newcomers, the system is perfect. It lets you learn from your mistakes without losing everything. Plus, with the looming fear of losing your hard-earned geo, you naturally start saving more often, playing smarter, and treating each venture into Hollowness with just the right mix of caution and excitement. But even with smart play, you'll eventually hit that point where you think, man, I wish I had just a little more help. And that's when Hollow Knight taps on your shoulder and goes, oh, you want help? I got just what you need. Which brings us to the charm system. There are countless charms to make exploration as easy or as punishing as you want it to be. Struggle with taking too much damage? There's a charm for that. How about you love spamming spells? Got you covered. Prefer dodging over taking hits? Come on. You know Team Cherry thought of that too. Charms give you a boost in power and mobility without turning the game into baby mode. For new players, they're a way to tailor the challenge to your comfort level, making the harder moments just a little less brutal. And that's when Really Knight really starts to hook you. And that's when Hollow Knight really starts to hook you in. You're not just trying to survive anymore, you're playing your way. You start swapping charms around for different areas, finding weird combos that make you feel like a genius, and suddenly fights or entire areas you hated feel way easier or crazier if you're feeling spicy. That's the moment you go from, I think I'm getting the hang of this, to, alright, let's see what else this game's hiding from me. Once you hit that point, you're not scared of getting lost or stuck. You're actively looking for trouble. Plus, this charm system allows you to show your creativity with different combinations. Not everyone's gonna have the same exact charm loadout as another person, because there's just so many different combinations you can do. Even if some of them are more meta, like the fragile strength charm with the long nail, you don't need to run those to have a fun time. You can mix and match and just discover what works for you. Sure, the defender's crest mixed with the glowing womb might not be the best combo in the game, but if it works for you, it works for you, and it just makes the game that much more enjoyable. Once you've got the basics down and know how to improve, the rest of the game opens up into pure fun. Sure, you'll hit walls from time to time, repeating some bosses over and over and over again, but like I said in my Geometry Dash video, that's part of the fun. Every attempt gets you just a tad bit closer, and the eventual victory feels beyond satisfying. And when you do eventually beat it for the first time, you'll most likely want more. Maybe you'll try the Pantheon, not to flex, but I personally beat every boss on Radiant mode. I know, I'm cool. Take on Steel Soul mode, or go for the 100% completion. There's a ton of content to uncover, much of it waiting for you to stumble on it naturally, or just use Google because you already played it legitly once, so who cares. With the pure amount of content there is in Hollow Hollow Knight and most of it being hidden, it allows you to find new small details with every run. Things you could have easily glossed over, like a text of dialogue or maybe a new area entirely that you didn't find originally. With this level of content, it leaves the game being so replayable. So yeah, Hollow Knight can be tough and it can be confusing at first, but overall for newcomers, it's still surprisingly friendly. It's beautiful, rewarding, and it's the kind of experience you really need to feel for yourself. If you've been on the fence about picking it up, I couldn't recommend it enough. Hollow Knight is genuinely one of the best games of all time, and I don't see that changing in my personal list anytime soon. Hey, it's been some time for sure, but at least I'm here now, so that's gotta count for something. I've been around on my second channel and honestly just haven't had much motivation to do my usual long form content until now. No promises, but I've definitely been getting my shit together as of recent, so maybe you'll see me around more, who knows. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and perhaps you'll consider subscribing. If you got to this point of the video, I'm pretty sure you know what's coming, but your reward for today is a tasty and delicious caniac combo, no coleslaw, with that extra goddamn toast. But yeah, I'm not good at ending stuff, so bye bye.